What's up, everybody? You're back with Text to My Ex, and with me wearing orange, I decided that I wanted to show you an orange cream shot. Now, normally I would make this a little drink to sip on, but today we're gonna do a shot because I only have a little bit of the vanilla vodka left, and that's one of the main ingredients. You need a little bit of soda jerk cream soda, liquor, and then you need a little bit of orange juice and some vanilla vodka. I'm gonna do the rest of this, which I would normally do like a 4 count, but this is more like a 2 count. And then we're gonna do the same for this, 2, and then we're gonna do a splash of the orange juice. Shake it. Look at that pretty orange color. Perfect for Halloween season. All right, let's taste it. Cheers. Ooh, that was really good. That was like a really refreshing shot. Like, even though it was like a cream soda, an orange cream shot, it was really refreshing. Definitely recommend that. Hopefully you try it. Let me know if you like it, and let's get to our next text. You have your questions. I hopefully have some answers. So let's just dive right in, shall we? Just merely wanting an opinion. I've gone on 2 dates with a guy I met off of Hinge. The first one was drinks at a bar in St. Pete that turned into a night out where I partied with him and a few of his friends, and ended up being really fun. The second date, he picked me up and we got a soup and sandwich at a fresh market and watched the sunset. He suggested I go over to his place for a movie night for our third date. I don't think that he's in it for a hookup, but I think that it's giving stinginess. Is it just me, or is it low effort on his part? I don't know if I'm being too picky. Listen, girlie. I definitely don't see stinginess or low effort on his part, so I'm not really sure where you're getting that. I am a big advocate on men not needing to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on the first couple dates when they don't even really know you. If anything, I think the whole sunset thing and everything, I thought that was actually effort, and I thought that was cute. I don't know, maybe that's just me. So I don't see that at all as far as the first 2 dates, and then the fact that he brought you around his friends and stuff like that. Like, I think he just feels comfortable and he liked your vibe, and so yeah, I didn't really see any red flags with that. Now, the suggesting to go to his house for the third date, it's not necessarily like I see that as a red flag or I see it as low effort. He could very well go shopping and cook you a great dinner, and maybe he was just looking for a more like intimate night with you. And yes, of course, if a guy's really into you and he likes you, of course he's gonna try to get that intimacy going, to kind of see where you guys stand on that level of the relationship. But that was kind of him, I think, testing the waters to kind of see what you're really wanting to do and what you're not wanting to do, and test your boundaries. And if he's a good guy, he's gonna want to move at your pace. You could easily just let him know, hey, like, I'm not really into that for like a third date. Can we plan something else? And he's either gonna respect you and say, yeah, sure, or he's not, and then he wasn't worth your time anyway. Tell people, go with your intuition, go with your gut, whatever you think is good, because not everyone's a psycho, and he may have good intentions, but he just has to respect your boundaries. If you're the kind of person that wants to see where that sexual chemistry is in the beginning of the relationship, or the beginning of like dating someone, because you want to get it out the way, then here's your chance, and you have to remember that there are some women that are like that, and he may have encountered some of those women. I'm gonna be honest, I used to be like that. I used to be like, yo, I want to get this shit out the fucking way. Like, if I started vibing with a dude, I was like, okay, I don't want to get too deep in. I want to figure this out, because that was a big, important part of relationships for me. So you gotta just, think about all aspects of it. But I don't see red flags. I don't see low effort, and I don't see stinginess. And when you tell him, like, no, that's not really what I'm trying to do, his response is gonna tell you everything that you need to know. So that's my take on it. I hope that helps. Met this guy online a month ago in a mutual group of wounded individuals on a healing path. We connected through mutual understandings and kicked it off texting. At first, I set the boundary to go slow, drugged my feet a little bit, but texted and chatted consistently. It was in the let's meet conversation that I broke my boundary, although I wanted to be cautious for a few reasons. He lives out of state, I met him online, and I have a long traumatic past. Texting then became daily through the entire day. Reflecting back, very love bombing, but I chalked it up to my cautious approach to my traumatic past. Even spoke to my therapist about it and decided to let it ride. I can't judge everyone based off of my past. Slowly, little things that he said made me, Then he sporadically booked a weekend trip here to meet me. I know. Please be nice. After only 3 weeks of knowing this guy, all my red flag alarms went off. I scoured for info, did a background check, and all checked out. All aligned with what he told me. I had no reason other than my past to judge him on. We spent a lovely weekend together. Again, a few things made me wonder, but I proceeded with caution. As I went to randomly look him up again, I saw that there was multiple national news articles regarding him and his ex-wife. Long story short, there was a video that not only triggered my abusive past, but I clearly saw his MO and painting her as the abuser while he was calm, cool, and collected. I know this all too well. I immediately ghosted him, prayed thanking God for protecting me, and haven't talked to him since. That was a week ago, but now, maybe because it's been a week of contemplating loneliness and doubt, also the anxiety from being so triggered, I'm here wondering if that connection and beautiful picture the pretty words painted were real, and again, my trauma got the best of me. I'm trying so hard to lean into my healing, looking at the entire picture without the rose gold glasses and seeing all the flags, red, green, and yellow. Although honestly, since he hasn't attempted to reach out, clearly I'm left wondering while simultaneously confirming what I felt had me to finding what I needed, and it's not my trauma. What the hell is wrong with me? That so quickly I got sucked into this and he felt like home and missing the connection while also being relieved that God saved me from another disaster. I want to reach out to satisfy my need, but I know protecting myself is the main goal. Listen here. God, I could feel, it was like, I could feel what you were feeling, like while I was reading that. That's like the empath in me, I guess. So first of all, this was definitely a sign, a clear red flag. Woo! You know, it was like stop, halt, every possible ding, 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 walk away. That's what that sign was. You did not stumble across those articles for no reason. After already talking to him for so long, after already, you know, him coming after 3 weeks and kind of like making you a little bit nervous, and yeah, you guys had a great weekend together. That's fine. Of course they're gonna act like this great person, but if he was really a good person that you needed to be involved with, you would have never came across that shit. It's like I'm feeling like overheated and overwhelmed just thinking about that situation. It's very weird what I'm getting. So yeah, definitely a sign, for sure. Don't even question that. The reason that you're feeling the way that you're feeling is because 9 times out of 10, he love bombed you. And it may not even be the cliche, like him saying he's gonna marry you and like all this stuff. It's like, no, like, yes, he did put on this representative that was so amazing to you when you guys hung out and when you talked and got to know each other, and the healing, again, going back to this trauma bonding. You know, when you're in a situation like that and you're in that group and you're healing, people that are not in there for the right reasons are gonna prey on people like you. And I hate to say that you kind of fell into it, but like you did. And as soon as that man said, hey, I want to book a trip to come see you, I would have been like, excuse me, sir, this has only been 3 weeks. I do not feel comfortable with that. And you should have told him, like, if you want to come to my city because you genuinely want a vacation, that is on you. And I hope you enjoy your trip, but do not come here for me. And next time, let's talk about this. I think that we need to get to know each other a little bit. He probably took advantage and was like, oh, she seems so nice. She'll definitely come see me and blah, 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 blah. And that's why he just did it. So you're feeling this pain of like, oh, but like, what if that story, like, what if he's telling the truth? Like, what if she really was the problem? And what if he's this great guy? He wouldn't have tried to have moved that quick with you, and he wouldn't have tried to be like pushy almost. And I just think that things would have flowed a little bit differently with you guys. You're just you're wondering why this person made you feel this way, but obviously like certain levels of like dopamine and everything that you got, it sucks because now that's taken away. It's the same thing as a drug. God, my hair is just getting everywhere. People joke around saying that love is a drug and that it's the toughest drug to get over and it's the most addicting drug and whatever. It's true. You do, when you feel these good feelings and you release all this stuff in your brain and you're on this high, right? You don't have to be addicted to an actual drug to experience an addiction. You're trying to come off of this like high that you had. Like you said, he painted this picture that was almost like euphoric of like what you wanted and what you'd been craving and everything like that. That's what you're trying to get off of. So it's completely normal that you're feeling this way, but you just have to like slap yourself and remind yourself, this is not real. This is the reaction, a chemical reaction in your brain to how you were feeling for a while, and now you got to wean yourself off of it. I had a dude who I was like head over heels with, and I used to make a joke to him, and I used to be like, you are my favorite drug, but like I hate it. And because I don't do stuff like that, but I was like, if this has to be what an addict feels like, because I would be like super high highs when I was with him and super low lows when we weren't together. And it felt like an addiction because it was like everything consuming. I just couldn't understand certain, why this was happening, why this wasn't happening, why, And so yeah, like it's not a joke, bro. Love is a fucking drug. Love is a drug. It's just the drug that you don't even have to put in your system. That's what's crazy. So, girl, this is completely normal. You dodged a bullet, and thank goodness for that, because your spirit guides and God was looking out for you. You're just dealing with like the healing and the grieving, but it will go away quicker than you think because this was such a short situation. Thank God this wasn't like years in. So, I've been seeing this guy for a little over a month, and things have been pretty well. We aren't exclusive yet, but I notice every week or so. Why is there a piece of hair on my mic? Okay, anyways. I notice every week or so, especially when he travels for work, that he still checks the dating apps. I know that we haven't been exclusive and had the talk, so I can't get upset about it, but it still kind of upsets me. I genuinely check to see if he updated his bio. How do I bring up the what are we talk without sounding like a clingy chick? You don't. You don't. Let me take a sip of this water before I preach. Listen, you don't. You don't need to bring up the what are we to any man. If a man actually values you, if a man wants to pursue things with you, if a man wants to take that next step with you, he's going to. You don't have to ask. You don't have to bring it up. Like, he's going to move accordingly. Yeah, he may be taking his time to, see who's more compatible out of the people that he's getting to know, as you should be doing the same. But when he's ready to pick one of y'all, he's gonna pick. And if he doesn't, and you decide, hey, we've been seeing each other for this amount of time, right? Whether it's 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, you name it, whatever you feel comfortable with. If you are reaching that limit and he's not moving accordingly, then you move accordingly, boo-boo, and you start getting to know other people, and you start cutting off the access to yourself. You move however you feel, and you set whatever boundaries you need to set. It's not being rude, it's being selfish. You need to care about yourself. And he ain't stupid. I promise you he ain't stupid. What a man wants, a man's gonna get. They're natural pursuers, they're natural hunters. And if he's in a phase in his life where he's not committing, it doesn't matter what you say or do, he's not gonna commit. So he's gonna keep doing what he wants. And if you stick around, you're gonna keep hoping and praying that he's gonna, eventually stop getting on the app and stop entertaining it, and he's gonna eventually, and then you're just wasting your own goddamn time and you're hurting your own heart. I in no way, shape, or form am I saying like, oh, just be rude to him and start, not talking to him and whatever. But you can still be respectful and you can still move accordingly. And when he asks you like, oh, I feel like we haven't seen each other in a while, or oh, I feel like we haven't talked as much lately, or whatever the case may be, you can simply say to him, well, the energy that I was getting from you, the lack of communication I was getting from you, lack of pursuing and dating with intention that I was getting from you, it just showed me that maybe you're not ready for what I'm ready for. Because I feel like if you were ready to be exclusive with me and you was ready to pursue me, you would have had that conversation with me, but you didn't. That's a respectful way to let him know like where you stand. And if he tries to, give you the whole song and dance of, oh, I've just been busy and blah, 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 blah. No. You can say, where I'm at in my life, I think that people make time for what they want to make time for. So I think respectfully, we're just not on the same page, and that's okay. Do not ask a man. That is almost as bad. Baby, that's almost as bad as asking a man to marry you. I'm being so for real, and I'm not being dramatic. I promise you. Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about that. I love you. Next question. Please no judgment, but I'm really bad at writing over text. I sometimes don't come across clearly, and I'm looking for a polite but clear way to tell a guy that I'm no longer interested in him. We've only gone out a few times, and if I'm not seeing him, he's not conversing with me. He's not serious, and I no longer feel the connection. How would you tell this to a guy over text? Looking for some guidance. How would I tell him? Honey, if I'm not seeing him, he's not conversing with me. Girl, I wouldn't even text his ass. I would not even respond. Like, after so many times of him only speaking to you when he wants to see you, I would have just stopped responding altogether. But that's just me. Cause like, I was literally just in a situation like that. Y'all know I love fucking with my hair. Anyway, don't judge me. I won't judge you, you don't judge me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, I was definitely in a situation like that. And when I would cop an attitude, he would be like, well, what's the problem? And I'd be like, bro, you only hit me up when you want me to come over or you want to see me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not consistent communication. Like, so therefore, what the fuck is the point of us being in each other's lives? I'm a little bit more of a bitch. I feel like you trying to be a little more nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and help you with it. I would have just ghosted his ass. Like, bitch, you know what the fuck you doing. You know you playing in my face right now. So I wouldn't even have given him time of day. But if you want to respond in like a respectful way, like someone that keeps hitting you up, and you just want to politely, like, no beef, no, you know, no hate, no shade. Listen, it's been cool getting to know you, but I do think that we're on two different wavelengths right now, and I would like to pursue other options. I wish you the best, and leave it at that. You know, very, very simple, very mindful, very demure. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely nice ways you can go about it. And then after that, I would not speak to him anymore, because he's gonna try to reel you back in because he wants to probably keep his roster, or he wants to keep you and have access to you but not give you everything that he knows he needs to be giving you. So I still wouldn't respond after that. When do we stop talking to other people? Should I be talking to multiple or just one at a time? If I meet someone and see potential, I typically won't talk to others because I'd like to dedicate my time to one person and give it an actual shot. I'm confused on how these men can talk to many women at a time until they figure out which one they want to take seriously. Obviously, to each their own, no judgment here. But me personally, I do not think it is smart to put all your eggs in one basket every single time. I think that leads to a lot of wasted time. I think that you should be getting to know a couple different people, and then, cause think about it, right? When you go on a first date, you're gonna feel the vibe right away. It's either gonna be a yes or no. You're gonna get an instant vibe, okay? It's either gonna go horribly or it's gonna be pretty cool, you know? So that's just a vibe. That's just a little bit of, okay, we kind of get each other, we kind of like get along, you know what I mean? But vibe, like I'll say chemistry. You get chemistry, right? Chemistry, connection, and compatibility are different. So you should be getting to know a couple people, because you may vibe with someone and have chemistry, but you are no way, shape, or form compatible for a long-term relationship or marriage. And so once you start to go on a couple dates and you're hanging out and you're getting to know more about these people, then once you start to see, okay, so out of these couple, I really feel like me and him are very compatible. Me and him cool, but like I just don't see our lives aligning. We have different goals, you know, stuff like that. Cool peoples, but this is who I really, everything kind of flows and there's more compatibility, and that's someone I actually kind of want to take serious. That's when I think it's appropriate to be like, you know what, I really kind of want to focus on this and really feed into that and see where this goes. And that's when you politely message the other people and say, hey, you know, it's been awesome getting to know you, but I have met someone that I do want to pursue that I think aligns with more with me and where I'm trying to go. So I think that we should go our separate ways, but I do wish you the best, and I appreciate your time. You know, that is the mature way to go about it. And I know you mentioned like you're so confused on how men can talk to like multiple women at a time. A lot of times men are talking to multiple women so that they can have on call whenever they want. But there's really normally one that they end up being like, yeah, nah, like I'm really trying to be like with her, you know? So that's who I really like. Any woman can be sexy and fun for the guy, but for that woman to make him feel emotionally, you know, safe, supported, you know, bring him peace, make him feel giddy inside, make him laugh, you know, make him feel appreciated, stuff like that. They normally got that one that they're like, yeah, okay, I need to cut all my roster off, and that's who I'm gonna go for. When they're looking for a wifey, you know, they find her pretty quickly. A guy is I think men are very simple in the mind. If they're healed and they're ready to find their partner, I think they're very simple, and them other hoes are just hoes to them, you know, so. I need some help. I'm getting married soon and things have been weird about finances as of lately. I got laid off and he's behaving differently with respect to our finances, even though I have savings and I have more assets than him. What do you think about prenups? Ooh, that's a good question. I personally love prenups. I think that back in the day, I thought that prenups were very cut and dry. I thought it was, I'm marrying you, but you have not a single right to any dime that I have until we get divorced. I thought it was very cut and dry, and I was like, no thank you. But then I found out that prenups have stipulations you can put, and you guys can, you know, put certain things that make sure that, you know, in this loving moment while we're creating this, you're not gonna like change it out of hate later if we get divorced. And it's very positive in my opinion, because while I understand people not wanting someone to marry them strictly for money, I also think that you shouldn't be able to just leave someone high and dry. You loved them at one point, you would have never done that before, so now that you're mad, you shouldn't be doing it unless infidelity. And you can put that as a stipulation. So because you guys can come to an agreement and you guys can put stuff in it and make certain decisions, and you know, okay, well, if we were to get divorced, because she's going to be a stay-at-home wife or mother, I will give her this much after we divorce, but that's it. Or I want this, she can have that, you know. So I think prenups are good. And vice versa. Sorry, I didn't mean to make it gender specific. But vice versa, you know, I will make sure he has this and that. I want this, not that, you know. And that way it makes the divorce, God forbid, you don't want it, right? Knock on wood, but it makes things so much easier. It's almost like having full coverage on your marriage. That's how I feel. So yeah, I'm all for prenups. All right, we got time for one more. Let's see. I feel like I'm getting desperate and slightly pathetic. Me and my ex have a very complicated relationship. We still talk daily and see each other often, but lately I've been feeling like I want to know if they would even entertain another person right now. I've thought about making a fake Instagram to see if they would talk to me through that. I've also thought about getting a random person to flirt with them, but I don't trust easily and I feel like it would backfire. I feel like this is what I need to move on, for them to tell me that they're talking to someone else, but I also know that it would crush me if they did. I'm stuck, but I'm really wanting to see what they would do or say. What would you do? Tough love. I do think it is a little bit desperate. The fact that y'all still talk every day and hang out, that would tell me that y'all probably both still have feelings for the other person, but maybe you just haven't addressed it. I don't know. Maybe you have, and maybe the person was like, nah, like I'm not feeling it, and you guys remained friends. But I almost would say that's unhealthy for you, because clearly you kind of still have something there. You continuing to not only have access to that person, but give them access to you is going to just fuel you kind of sitting in this little slump of like, well, but are they talking to someone else? Have they moved on? Are they gonna just, you know, be different with me one day? This whole having someone go on Instagram and all that stuff, do not fucking do that. Do not to do that. If you have to even question it, it's not even worth your time. And so to me, I think you just need to be real about it. You need to reach out and be like, listen, this is what it is. Are you talking to somebody else? Because like, I just need to know for my own sanity. I still have feelings for you, you know, blah, 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 blah. And either one or two things is gonna happen. Actually, one of three things. Either one, they're gonna say, oh wow, I actually have feelings for you too. Huh, maybe y'all can work it out. Or 2, they're gonna say, no, I'm not talking to anyone else, but would you like me to let you know? Like, when I do, is that gonna bother you? Like, should we stop hanging out? Blah, 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 blah. Or 3, they're gonna say, yeah, I have. And then you're gonna have to start this grieving process that it sounds like you've just been putting off. I don't really think it's healthy to be continuing that friendship, I guess, if you're not being completely honest about how you feel, and if you're not taking the proper steps to grieve and start that healing, if you have already addressed it and you guys already know that you're not getting back together. So that's my advice, but I definitely think you need to figure it out, because if not, you're gonna be in this cycle of just not a good mental space. That's all I have for this episode, guys. Tune in for the next text to my ex. If you want to send in your questions, if you need some advice, if you need to send in a paragraph to your partner, you want to do a text to your ex, you can send it all in to text to my ex, 3x's@yahoo.com.